Hi guys, today we're going to look at how we did that bow tie method that we talked about in class today. We're going to factor the polynomial 6x squared minus 11x plus 4. And one thing we can do is we could guess and check what our response should be here. We could try maybe 6x and x, so that when I multiply those two things I get 6x squared. I also want my last two numbers to multiply to be 4. I could try maybe 1 and 4. If I multiply that out, I get 6x squared plus 24x, and then I have another 1x, and that's not going to give me that minus 11 in the middle, so I know something's not quite right there. So maybe I try something else. Maybe I'll try to get to the 4, maybe I'll try 2 and 2, and if I try that, I have 12x and 2x, which still won't get me to 11x. So that's not right either. I need to try something else. So maybe I'll try 3x and 2x, which will get me to that 6x squared. And maybe I'll try a 1 here and a 4 here to get me to the 4 at the end. If I FOIL this out, I have 6x squared. And then I have 12x and 2x, which is still not right. But maybe if I try 4 here and 1 here, maybe I can get there. That will give me 3x and 8x, and that will get me to my minus 11 x in the middle if I have my signs right. In this case, I would need minus 1 and minus 4. So my solution would be 3x minus 4 times 2x minus 1. But that was a lot of guessing and checking. So we have this other method called we'll call it the bow tie method, that allows us to factor trinomials a little bit easier. And the bow tie method looks like this. We're going to draw that x that we used in class, except I'm going to draw another line across it. Up in the top of the x, I'm going to multiply the first number and the last number. So in this case, 6 times 4 gives me positive 24. In the bottom, I'm going to put that middle number, negative 11. And then in the top left and top right, I'm always going to write that initial coefficient, that lead coefficient. So 6 here, and the same number on this side. And now that I have the problem set up, the other two spots, I'm going to look for just what I looked for in class the other day. Two numbers that multiply to be 24, that add up to be negative 11. And in this case, that would give me the two values of negative 8 and negative 3. Negative 8 and negative 3 will multiply to 24, and they'll also add to negative 11. Here's where this bow tie method gets a little strange. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to look at the numbers on the sides and see if there are any common factors. There's a common factor between 6 and negative 8 of 2, so I'm going to divide each of those by 2. That'll give me a 3 here and a negative 4 here. I'm going to then look on the right and see if there are any common factors. In this case, there's a 3. If I divide by 3, I get 2 here and negative 1 here. And now I've just about found the factors that I'm looking for. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the variable always with that top number. In this case, I'll put the x here and the x here. And now my two factors come from what I have on the sides. This would factor as 3x minus 4 times 2x minus 1. So let me try this one. Now we have 4a squared minus 3a minus 7. In the top of my bow tie is the a times the c. These two numbers will give me minus 28. In the bottom down here I have that middle number, so negative 3. The top left, top right, I put my initial lead coefficient, in this case 4 and 4. Now I'm looking for factors of negative 28 that will add to negative 3. That's going to have to be negative 7 and positive 4. And again, I go to that kind of strange step of looking at the left and the right, seeing if there are any common factors. There's none on the left, so I'm going to leave it like that. Common factor on the right is 4. I'm going to divide each of those by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Now I'll put the variable back in. So variable again will go with the top number, and my factorization is about done. My factorization will be 4x minus 7, which comes from here, and then 1x, or just x, plus 1, which comes from the right-hand side. And that's the bow tie method. So try that on your homework this weekend, and we'll see you Monday.